Alright, so today I'm just going to do a review of this USA Forged ammo. I've shot a lot of this ammo, over 1,000 rounds. They come in bricks of 150. They are steel cased, but they're lead core jacketed bullets. Much like white box, but with a steel case. Let's just open it up, have a quick peek. This stuff's pretty cheap. Up here in Canada, prices probably are considerably higher than down south, but $40, and that gets you 150. Quite often, I just don't have time to reload everything that I shoot, even with a Dillon, or I'm running out of components, and this is real nice to have in the gun cabinet. The cases are great. We'll have a close-up look at them a little bit later on, maybe check some charge weights and stuff, and then we'll go over it. I shot a level 3 IPSC event with this with no problem. Well, the only problem is they had to double check that the bullets were not steel core. And once they realized that they were lead core, I was fine to shoot this ammo on the range. But it chronoed. It just made power factor, barely, but it did that in a pistol and a .226 with a shorter barrel. What I'm using today is a Shadow, and it should have no problem meeting power factor. Back at the lab, we have the Winchester USA Forged ammo. It's the 9mm 115 grain ammo. As I said, I've put a lot of rounds downrange using this stuff. It's been great practice ammo, and I've even used it for match ammo. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a handful of these and pull them, and then just have a quick look at the bullet, and then I'm also going to look at the powder charge. So alright, so here's the 6 rounds that I had pulled. So the very first one, I was having some trouble with the bullet puller. It's a brand new bullet puller, so I don't know, the coating inside was catching some grains, so I might have had a little spill out. So I just put it a little asterisk beside that 4.7. It was probably over 5. So let's just guesstimate that at 5. Number 2 for the powder charge, 5.2. Number 3 for the powder charge, 4.4, and I don't feel like I lost that much. I started with 4.3 and I felt like I dropped a couple of granules, but not much. I rounded up to 4.4, but I did keep that. And although there is a big variance in all this batch, I think that that's probably correct, because I did run some of this last year at an IPSC level 3 event, and the chronoing was interesting. There was one light load out of the, I think they shot 3 or 5, I can't remember, 3, and there was one light load and 2 good stout ones. Now that put me very close to the power factor line, but I did actually make power factor, and that was with a SIG 226, which has a slightly shorter barrel than what I'm running this year. But then back up to 5.1, 5.0, and 5.4. And the bullet weights were a little all over the place too, with about a 1 grain variance, but that's not bad for practice ammo. 114.4, 115.1, 115.2, 114.7, 114.3, and 115.4. So just a little bit bigger than a grain variance. So this is definitely practice and not match ammo, but you know what? It's very reliable. And you can tell that by the crimp. Look at the crimp on that thing. Wow. They really grabbed a hold of that. Let's see if I can zoom that in a bit for you. And as you can see, there's that healthy little grab right in there where they squeeze that sucker together. A good crimp does make a difference shooting 9mm ammo. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to post some chronograph results as well, and then lots more shooting, because this stuff is reliable. Like I said, I've shot almost 1,000 last year, and I'm probably into about 500 this year. And I would have shot more, except my gun store that carried this stuff burnt down, and I have to go to another province to get more. And I like it so much that when I'm in another province, I usually buy 2 or 3 bricks of it. All right. All right. So I'm going to do a quick shoot of the steel Winchester USA Forged. well, she did.
Yeah.
I need some assistance here.
Yeah.
So when I press the button the first time here.
The first time you press the button, gives you your low.
You know what you should do, Mike?
Next is high.
You should take one of our PVC
Then your average,
base on it and just put it up on
extreme spread,
all the
standard deviation, and then you get into the individual shots.
Alright.
Your individual shots.
The ammo seems pretty consistent. It's always like just one that seems to go out of
And that's the bulk pack Winchester stuff.
bulk pack Winchester USA Forged ammo.
Oh, that's a steel case stuff.
Yeah, steel case, but it's a lead core bullet,
Yep.
so it's good for shooting on steel and stuff like that.
Yep.
Yeah. I can't get a break from the wind noise, but I'm going to be testing out the steel jacketed Winchester ammo here. I'm going to just start off with just some single shots, just some draws from the holster. So, and then I'll move on to the vice pres and the L pres and maybe the build drill. Alright, so after shooting 150 rounds of the Winchester Steel Forged, just want to report back about the cleanliness of the round. It is a little bit dirty. I don't know if we can see that in frame here, but or the ramps on the shadow, but fair bit of build up here. So anyway. This is good ammo. It's great to have a couple boxes of this kicking around when you get too tired or too busy to reload.